You're listening to WTIM, your information station, and it's time now for your expanded local news. Average gasoline prices across Illinois climbed again over the past week, rising nearly 7 cents per gallon to an average of $2.94, according to a new survey of more than 4,300 stations conducted by Gas Buddy. While prices are slightly higher than a month ago, drivers are still paying nearly 30 cents less per gallon than they were this time last year. Gas Buddy data shows a wide range in prices across the state. The lowest reported price in Illinois on Sunday was $2.34 per gallon, while the highest reached $4.29, creating a nearly $2 difference depending on location. Nationally, the average price of gasoline increased by 7.5 cents over the past week to $2.84 per gallon. That figure is slightly higher than 1 month ago, but remains nearly 24 cents lower than a year ago, based on millions of weekly price reports from stations nationwide. In central Illinois, prices show mixed movement. Peoria averaged $2.83 per gallon, down slightly from last week. Champaign prices fell more sharply to $2.78, while St. Louis saw a notable jump, rising to $2.70 per gallon. Diesel prices also moved higher, increasing 7.8 cents over the past week to a national average of $3.54 per gallon. Rising oil prices, tighter global supply conditions, and winter weather impacts are contributing to upward pressure at the pump. Looking back, today's prices remain well below levels seen in recent years. On the same date in 2023, Illinois drivers were paying an average of $3.66 per gallon. The prices exceeded $3.50 in both 2022 and in 2025. Gas Buddy reports that rising crude oil prices, ongoing geopolitical tensions affecting global supply, and cold weather disruption at refineries are all factors influencing fuel costs. Increased demand for heating oil during winter conditions has also contributed to higher diesel prices, which does ripple into gasoline markets. Gas Buddy is a fuel savings platform tracking real-time prices at more than 150,000 stations across North America. Central A&M High School's FFA chapter has seen steady improvement in their competition results in recent years. They look to continue that trend entering the spring semester, which will also feature enrichment trips for the many members. Addison Lawrence is the FFA chapter's president, and she says competitions in a variety of disciplines make up the spring semester schedule.
So, though a lot of our section competitions were first semester, this second semester we have some different state competitions coming up. Next month we'll have the state vet science CDE. We have our section public speaking contest coming up where we're going to take some freshmen, sophomore, and juniors. And I'm also going to be at that. And then our big thing is we have our proficiency judging. So all of the members do keep a supervised agriculture experience book, and they just keep records on something they do within agriculture, whether that's a job or an entrepreneurship position that they have.
The chapter's competition record so far this academic year has been a positive one, with several high placings.
So first semester was really busy. All of our section competitions were first semester. We started out strong with soil judging and then moved on to agronomy, dairy foods, vet science, and a lot of other contests spread out throughout there. We did really well our first semester. We were able to place second, third, and fourth in a lot of competitions, and even had some members being second and third overall in those competitions. So that was really nice to see. And I mean, we really excelled that first semester. Yeah, it's definitely improved. When I was a freshman, we were coming out of COVID and the competitions were ran a little bit differently, and we didn't have as much member involvement. But since even this year, there's a lot of new members that have really stepped up and done a lot more and practiced a lot more, and our teams have really improved. I see a lot of returning members on the same teams, and they're really focused on doing their best.
For Lawrence, being the chapter president has placed her in a more public position than before. This has been her most notable adjustment to the role.
So this year I was installed as the chapter president, and it's been a big role in shifting my leadership, going from kind of behind the scenes to more um, right in front of all of the activities. So I'm kind of in charge of planning and getting things sorted out. And then a little bit of my role is I pass off some of my responsibilities to my younger officer members and try and get them involved. So I think that's been a big difference seeing how last year I was kind of getting passed off with different activities and now I kind of get to do that for my new officers.
Lawrence had been pursuing the role of president since beginning high school. having been heavily involved in ag-related activities since that time.
When I was a freshman, I came into ag. I was really active, immediately asked Mrs. Bergner, probably the first day of ag class, what I could get involved in. And from then, I started my sophomore year running for a chapter office and was the chapter vice president. And then my junior year, I was the chapter reporter. And then I finally decided to run for president.
Okay, all these positions, right? In freshman year, it's a little different. Now, senior year, is president the best position to have?
Um, I'd say it is. It's probably one of the more rewarding positions to have because everyone's seeing your face out there, but I do miss doing a little bit more of the behind the scenes. Like as reporter, I was able to do our news articles and do even interviews like this, and I do miss that a little bit.
She is set to attend Lincoln Land Community College before transferring to a four-year university to study animal science. More information on Central A&M High School is available at the school district's website, camraiders.com. Addison Lawrence appeared as a guest on the WTIM Morning Show as part of the WTIM High School Road Tour's visit to Central A&M High School. Memorial Health has named Sarah Matlin as its new Senior Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer. Matlin will help guide the strategic direction of Memorial Health, which includes 5 hospitals, along with primary and urgent care clinics, behavioral health services, and home health care across central Illinois. She is the founder and CEO of OKTO Strategic Advisory. It's a firm that focuses on helping healthcare organizations innovate and transform their operations. She previously served as Chief Strategy Officer at St. Elizabeth Healthcare, an independent health system based in northern Kentucky. Matlin holds a bachelor's degree in international business, economics, and German from James Madison University in Harrisonburg, Virginia, and a master's degree in business administration from Solvay Business School in Brussels, Belgium. Memorial Health says Matlin will play a key role in shaping the organization's long-term strategy as it continues to grow and evolve to meet the needs of patients and communities across our region. This will conclude the first portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by Taylorville Community Credit Union.
Life moves fast and your banking should keep up. This is Will Perkins. At Taylorville Community Credit Union, managing your money is easier than ever. With our 24/7 online banking and mobile app, you can check your balance, transfer funds, and pay your bills. Anytime, anywhere, safe, secure, and just a tap away. For more information, call or stop by one of our local branches. TCCU, local banking that goes wherever you do. Member NCUA.
Pana High School's cheerleading team is headed to the IHSA sectional competition. They will perform at Edwardsville High School this Saturday alongside 68 other teams. Every team will be aiming to be among the few that qualify for the state finals, set for the following weekend in Bloomington. For Pana, this is their first time at this stage of the season in 14 years, making the accomplishment extra special. Carly Bland, Bo Linover, and Lila Wallace are among the members of the cheer team. Their team had to place well enough in smaller competitions throughout the season to qualify for sectionals.
It was great. It was a fun experience. We had to make it to different competitions to go to qualify for ICCA state, be able to make it. And on our last meet in Peoria, Illinois, we finally did make it. We scored a 83, I think, for our routine, and then we also do a game day routine, and we scored really well on that, and we got to go for both. So that was a really great experience.
For our actual routine, it's out of 100, and you have to get an 80 to be able to qualify for state. And then for our game day, it's out of 60, and you have to get a full, is it full? How would?
A 50.
A 50 maybe, to be able to qualify for state for that one. And the type of things that they're looking for is like your jumps, if your toes are pointed, like if you have a lot of tumbling, that definitely helps. If your stunts stay up or like if they fall.
You have execution points and different things like volume. They're basically judging how well you put yourself out on the floor.
The trio says that the atmosphere at competitions is intense, but they feel supported even by other teams.
It was just always a fun experience to go, especially as seniors, and just seeing other teams compete and just see how well they do. And definitely for us too, we did an amazing job at all of our competitions. I just loved it so much.
The atmosphere is definitely different compared, like when you're at state, it's just, very intense, but then you have a lot of support from all of the other teams, and it's just a great experience to have all of the support from the other teams and get to see everybody going on the floor.
The belief among team members that they could succeed grew as the season had progressed.
It was we started off kind of not really knowing where we were going to be at, but just putting in the effort to improve not only our routine, but our game day routine. We ended up putting our all onto the floor, and it ended up being better than we could have ever imagined, making it to state. It's the first time we've made it back to state since 2012, so I'd say that's an accomplishment. I think it's just like one of those things where you start from scratch and you only move up.
Linover, Wallace, and Bland credit their coach, Gretchen Bland, for helping foster a positive attitude throughout the group.
She cares a lot for our team, and she just brings a positive attitude every time.
I'd say she's very determined on getting us to where we need to be, especially when it comes to just, even if it's simple competitions or state, she's there with us all the way through. And she's very caring. She's always there. She's just a great coach overall.
Mm-hmm. She's very patient with us when it comes to learning new skills, and she just I don't know, is very caring for us in all the aspects that she could.
She's a great person.
The three team members also provide advice to those considering taking up cheerleading. They say it's important to remain committed to the activity.
I'd say if you're wanting to have something to do with cheer, you need to make sure that you are committed and that it's something that you're ready to do. Having a positive attitude coming into it is always a great thing. Just bringing all of your energy, staying positive, things like that is really good for starting with cheer.
Definitely can imagine. And who else has some pieces of advice?
I would say definitely being coachable and workable, because there's always new changes being made. So being able to be flexible with everything throughout cheer is always a good and positive thing that you can do.
Okay. And for you, Bo?
Staying committed is a good one, and bringing good attitude from the start.
More information on the state series and competitive cheerleading is available at ihsa.org. Carly Bland, Bo Linover, and Lila Wallace appeared as guests on the WTIM Pana Morning Show. U.S. Senator Dick Durbin visited Cafe Moxo in Springfield to meet with local small business owners and discuss his recent bipartisan Credit Card Competition Act. The proposal is hoping to increase competition in the credit card market, where Visa and MasterCard currently dominate, while reducing the swipe fees that many merchants say continue to drive up costs for both their business and their customers. The Credit Card Competition Act would require large banks to offer at least 2 network options on credit cards, creating competition that supporters say would lower fees and improve transparency. Durbin argues that increased competition would actually help small businesses keep prices down while easing financial pressure on their consumers. Durbin's visit focused on how credit card processing fees affect everyday operations for small businesses. Visa and MasterCard control roughly 85% of the credit card market, leaving merchants with little ability to negotiate rates. As a result, swipe fees cost the average American family nearly $1,200 each year and generate more than $111 billion annually for banks. Durbin was joined at the Springfield event by Cafe Moxo owner Mark Foranash, Cindy Frasina of Legendary Small Town Trading Co., Terry Bolander and Becky Baumgart of Girls in White Satin, and Rob Carr, president and CEO of the Illinois Retail Merchants Association. Ready for the rain is Krista Phillips from Effingham County, who is the new Miss Illinois County Fair Queen. She recently spoke about the honor that has been passed down to her. Phillips is a senior at the University of Illinois, majoring in business management and marketing. Eyeing the fertilizer market in 2026 is Veronica Nye with the Fertilizer Institute. What is she telling farmers as they look to spring planting season? Nye provided an update during the American Farm Bureau Federation convention in Anaheim, California. This will conclude the second portion of your expanded local news, and it's brought to you by CNB Bank and Trust.
Life happens, and CNB Insurance Services is here to help protect what matters most. From your home and car to your farm and business, our local team works with top providers to find the coverage that fits your life. No pressure, just honest guidance from people you know and trust. CNB Bank and Trust, helping to open doors since 1854.
Insurance products are not insured by FDIC or any federal government agency. Not a deposit or guaranteed by the bank or any bank affiliate and may lose value. Any insurance required as a condition of the extension of credit by CNB Bank and Trust and may not be purchased from our agency, but may, without the approval of the application, an extension of credit be purchased from an agent or insurance company of the customer's choice.
Moving now to obituaries, which can be found at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. 89-year-old Galen Lee Franklin of Taylorville died on January 26th. Cremation rights have been accorded, and arrangements will be made at a later date. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. 92-year-old Lois Ann Schwarm of Ullman died on January 23rd. Visitation is January 31st from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. at St. Louis Catholic Church in Nokomis. Catholic Mass will be on January 31st at 11 a.m. at St. Louis Catholic Church in Nokomis. Burial will be at Ullman Cemetery. 92-year-old Margaret Hazel Miller of Pana died on January 24th. A funeral mass will be today, January 28th at 1 p.m. at St. Louis Catholic Church in Nokomis. Burial will be at St. Barbara Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by Sutton Memorial Home. 72-year-old Lloyd Walter, or L.W. Linton of Edinburgh, died on January 22nd. Visitation is January 31st from 10 a.m. until 12 p.m. at Bethel Baptist Church in Taylorville. A memorial service will be January 31st at 12 p.m. at Bethel Baptist Church. Burial will be at a later date. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. And 88-year-old Sona Beavers of Taylorville died on January 16th. A memorial mass will be on March 6th at 10 a.m. at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Taylorville. An urnement will be at Green Hill Cemetery. Funeral arrangements are being handled by McClure Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Taylorville. Get details on these and other local news stories at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com or hear them every hour on WTIM. WTIM is your only local news radio.